thought that was a very unique pick.
All right, y'all. What's going on? How we doing?
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
It is the second episode of the Picks podcast. Kyle, can you just talk to me?
Oh, Lord.
Why is my audio muted?
Is it working?
Hello?
I'm muted.
Ah.
I can hear you. Ka.
Wait, do I have two audios? Oh my god, what the hell is going on? Oh god, guys. I don't know. Oh, I have two audios for some reason, and I don't know why. I wonder I wonder how that sounds for you guys. I hope it doesn't sound bad.
Ugh. Can they not hear me, Mr. Matt?
No, they can hear you. I think they can. They might be able to hear me
They
twice.
can hear you twice. That's kind of crazy.
Maybe.
We have Liz, our beta tester, our podcast beta
I
tester.
don't know what happened. I swear I didn't change anything. Hey Liz, can you give the stream a listen, please? Holy shit! All right, well, assuming this is
Sorry
working.
to our Spotify listeners.
Yeah, assuming this is we're having live difficulties. They're like, I don't care. I'm on Spotify. All right, well, this is the second episode of the Picks podcast, featuring myself and who's over here. I keep pointing the wrong way, Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle, a lot has changed in the last.
A lot has changed.
Yeah, I mean, I've got these beautiful photos of Jalen Hurts and Nick Foles smiling with their Lombardi trophies. Also, is that a ring I see in your finger?
No, I don't have any. I have screws.
Son
in
of
my
a bitch!
hands.
I thought you'd be wearing it. Anyway, congratulations on your engagement, Kyle.
Oh, thank you.
With Sam. We've got a beautiful picture of the two of you on the screen right now. Look at you. I mean, absolutely a keeper. I'm so happy for you guys. Back on one knee. Any update on how we sound, Liz? Oh, we sound great. All right, we got.
Let's go. Let's go. Bing bong. Bing bong.
I did not mess up anything. Perfect. Well, last week we kind of stuck with the AFC picks. We gave our predictions and our kind of insights for each team. So we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing for the NFC. I'm very excited because
I think this is gonna be spicier.
Yeah, I think the AFC and NFC differences are. I think the AFC might be like the wild card might be wide open, but I think a lot of fluctuation could happen within the divisions this year in the NFC. So I'm excited. I mean, I know some of your takes, but I'm excited to get the other takes because
AFC. I think we had the same. We have five.
I think we had
5 of. Yeah, we have 5.
It was 5 or 6 of the same.
Same.
Yeah, we were pretty close there. But
the
I have
only
a
thing
feeling
that were different was I had Jags, you had Texans, and I think one of our wild cards were different.
Yeah.
I guess our NFC North winners were different, but we both had the same team, have the same teams.
I have a feeling that
you had the Patriots over.
Yeah, I had Patriots.
Or over the Chargers.
Over the Chargers, that's what it was. I have a feeling that we're gonna have a lot of
very unique picks.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be some variation between our picks here. So let's start. We'll start in the NFC East like we did last time. I have the Commanders first, so we'll just do the Commanders first. Actually, before we start, I do have an announcement. Live tonight, I will be doing a fantasy draft.
That's crazy.
I might ask you at periods to take over. What pick I have though?
Fun fact. During our first podcast last year, I had a fantasy draft.
Oh, that's
and
right.
I won the league. So,
well,
if you keep the tradition,
I hope so.
You could win the league.
This league, the buy-in here is it's a lot. So, if I win this league, I'd be pretty happy. I have the number 1 overall pick, by the way.
Oh, whoa!
And I'll give you one guess who I'm taking. You might be close to him right now.
You're gonna take. I hope it's. Our
boy,
it's
that guy.
The number 1 player in the NFL.
Yeah, it's that guy. It's take one.
Wow.
Don't tell nobody. All right, so let's get into the teams. Let's start with the Commanders here. I think they had a very good offseason. I think the Commanders made a very conscious effort to improve the team around Jaden Daniels. A lot of high key trades for the old Washington boys.
Big high key trades.
They got Debo for a 5th. They got Larmy Tunzel for a picks package. But I mean, he's in his prime right now. I don't think that's necessarily a bad move. They traded
Is
Brian
he, though?
Robinson. Yeah, dude, he's like 30. He's like right in his prime, 30, 31.
He like led the league in holding penalties last year. The Texans
Anyway.
O-line still wasn't that good.
He's good. He's good. Besides
good,
that, no, wasn't.
But he's old. That's the
He's
theme
like
of the
31.
Commanders team. They're like
No.
the pushing Super Bowl, and they're like the oldest roster in the NFL. They're old as hell.
Are they actually?
They're the retirement home in the NFL right now, except they also have Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, everyone but him, essentially. They did trade Brian Robinson too.
Yeah, because they got Little Bill.
Yeah, it seems like Commanders fans are happy about that. With I was gonna say Chris Rodriguez and Jeremy McNichols are in line, but apparently Bill, our boy, what's his name? Ja'Cory Brisket.
Ja'Cory Brisket.
Brisket.
He looks like little Bill Cosby.
I'm literally Is that why they call him Little Bill?
Yeah, because he looks like Bill Cosby from like the Little Bill show.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say if they're comparing him to Bill Cosby, that's a terrible thing to say to a kid.
Well, like when he was a kid, Bill Cosby wasn't bad yet.
No, he was bad. People just
maybe
didn't know
not.
it.
Oh yeah.
That's what it was.
Ignorance
That's what
is
it
bliss.
was. And then they had the whole Terry drama, huh? With him requesting a trade, but he got paid about a week ago. Yeah, I mean, come on, well deserved. Definitely, they needed to do it.
Loyal, needed to do that.
They re-signed a bunch of guys. They got Bobby Wagner back, Zach Ertz, Tressway. I said Jeremy McNichols already. They got Dietrich Wise, Javon Kinlaw, add some depth up front. They got Von Miller. Yeah, you're right. Actually, now that I'm reading all these names off, bro,
it's all old.
Jonathan Jones.
If you read this team name list like 3-4 years ago, you'd be like, "Oh my god, all stars!" But it's so old.
They and then the next two, they got Jonathan Jones and Will Harris.
Oh my god.
Who are both older.
Oh my god.
I mean, hey, good guys, good players. But it's kind of constructed like a win now roster, huh? Like where they're trying to just. I mean, hey, look, within the NFC East, there is always fluctuation within the division. I mean, there hasn't been a back-to-back winner since 03-04. We know this. I think this year is probably the best year given how good the Eagles are, obviously. But, I mean, if you're bet on a team, right? I mean, historically, it's probably the Commanders you'd want to bet on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're talking to anybody
there has been the pattern. Yeah, there has been the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
That goes from 2015. It's like Redskins, Cowboys, Eagles, Cowboys, Eagles, Redskins, Cowboys, Eagles, Cowboys, Eagles.
You did not have it written down. I was gonna say you didn't look over.
No,
once.
I was saying I went up to 20. I had it.
Yeah.
I was like 2025 was. Did you see the pattern?
For those of you listening on the audio version, he said all those names and then glanced over, and I'm like, gotcha. No, but the pattern exists. I mean, for one reason or another, it happens. But I mean, the Commanders are in for another good season. I don't think there's any denying that. I mean, besides Jaden Daniels getting hurt for the entirety of the year, I think they're well on their way to another double-digit victory season at least. You know, so I'm a big fan of what the Commanders did last year, and I'm a big fan of what they're probably going to do this year.
Mm-hmm. All I know is Aaron, our friend of the show, who was on last season, he sends me Commanders highlights nonstop on TikTok.
He does?
But he also sends me really funny memes, so I have to watch them all, and it's corrupted my For You page. I get about 50% Jaden Daniel highlights.
Lovely.
And 50% Eagles Super Bowl highlights.
Oh, no.
And it's poisoned my mind.
And it's like,
but
is this guy
that being said, I do have the Commanders in the playoffs. I do not have them in the winner of the NFC East.
All right. I mean,
I think anybody who knows me knows.
I know. I know. Who are we picking? We know who we're picking. We know what we're doing. Okay, we're well aware of it. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to the Eagles in just a second here. I have the Giants coming up next. You know, as much as I hate the Giants, and I do dislike the Giants as a Philadelphia Eagles fanatic, I do dislike the New York Giants. I was actually a big fan of what the Giants did this offseason, minus one thing. Well, actually, minus two things. There were two things.
Shane and Brian Dable still being there?
No, not even that.
Would be mine.
Not even, well, maybe Joe Shane. I don't think Brian Dable, you can, I think you probably have to keep some sort of coaching consistency there. But yeah, I mean, Joe Shane, yeah, I mean, come on, could get rid of him. But I think what the Giants are trying to do is like kind of get back to that late 2000s identity where they, they don't really have to rely on the blitz so much and get pressure and can instead just like rush
Yeah, with
four
their front four.
and
They
just
have
generate pressure
one
that
of
way.
the best D lines in
Oh
the
my
entire
God,
NFL,
dude!
in my
So
opinion.
they got Kayvon
Oh
Thibodeau,
my God.
the rookie Abdul Carter, who if you don't think he's going to be defensive rookie of the year, or at least in the conversation, go scratch. Dexter Lawrence was the defensive player of the year until he got hurt last year. Brian
Correct.
Burns, and then they also added Chauncey Golston from the Cowboys for run pressure. They got Darius Alexander in the draft, who I
Kayvon
really
Thibodeau.
wanted. That's disgusting. That's dangerous.
The nasty front seven.
They got Deontay Banks. This is his second year, and it's crazy to say it's a guy in his second year is already make or break year, but apparently he was struggling to beat out Cordell Flott in training camp. For the quarterback too. So they're gonna look for some added assistance from newcomer Paulson Adebo. That was a big get for them. But like I said, there were two things, right? So back in March, I said the Giants should not have let Tommy DeVito go. They should have let him be the guy this year and, roll with that and just, play out the year. Because, the guy won games for the Giants last year and they stunk. They were absolutely terrible last year, and he won games.
This goes back to my point about keeping Brian Daboll. If you kept Brian Daboll, then obviously he's going to want to try to win to save his job. And because of that, you signed Russell Wilson, Jameis, and you draft a quarterback who I like, performed well in the preseason, but I don't know if he was worthy of trading back into the first round to grab.
Yeah.
Maybe if you already had a late first rounder or an early second, but to trade up to get him, I don't know. But he has performed quite well in the preseason.
I do like Jackson Dart, personally, which is fine. Like, I'm not gonna knock the Giants for drafting Jackson Dart. I think he's a fine quarterback. I didn't think you needed to sign Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson, which leads me to my point too. They did nothing to address the offensive line. Like, they did absolutely. The O-line is basically the same. It's John Michael Schmitz, John Runyon, Greg Van Roten, Andrew Thomas, and now Evan Neal, who's been moved to guard. And they say he's been better at guard, but that's yet to be seen in a game. So there's still a ton of question marks at the line, and I don't think it matters who you put back there. Personally, I think whoever you put back there is probably going to be running for their life most of the time. Malik Neighbors has to stay healthy. I know the talent's obviously.
He's already a little banged up.
He's already dealing with some sort of injury. I am excited about Cam Scatabo though. I think the Giants should give him a chance. I think off the bat, I'd give the guy at least 5 carries a game, but we'll see.
I don't know. I mean, Tyron Tracy, low key, was pretty fun to watch last year.
He's got the fumble. He's got the hands issue though. He's got a
little bit of fumbling issue.
Got a little bit of fumbling issue. And in the secondary, I think you got a lot of question marks too. What will Tyler Newman look like in year 2? What will Drew Phillips look like in year 2? I think at the very least, the Giants' defense is going to show you some stuff. And I think if they can build off that success next year, I don't think they're going to be particularly good in 2025, but
to be honest,
they're not going to roll over and die.
The biggest issue for the Giants in 2025, because low key, I like their talent. I like their defense especially. They have some pieces on offense. The biggest issue with them, their schedule is absolutely
tough.
Brutal.
It's tough. Yeah, you're right about that. It is
the hardest schedule in the league by strength of schedule. They play the NFC East, which is already really good. They play everybody there twice. They play the NFC North, which is, in my opinion, the best division in football.
Yep,
They play the AFC West, which is, in my opinion, the best division in the AFC. And, they have a last place schedule, but they play the Niners because they came in last. They play the Bears, who are kind of up and coming with the head coach.
They get a do-over.
And then they play the Saints, and that's a win probably. Saints, in my opinion, we'll get to them later, but they're the worst team in the NFL.
But yeah, to your point, it's a brutal schedule. But like I said, I don't think they're going to roll over and die as much this year. I think Giants fans, if you get 7 wins, I think you should be happy with about 7 wins.
That's an incredible season if you get 7 wins. I currently think they're going to get like 5, but I think they're going to be a tough out. I think there's some teams that we're going to consider good teams that are go far in the playoffs, especially based on their schedule, that I think they're going to get upsets on.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. So I think we're both a little bit higher on the Giants this year. I think they did a lot of good things. Still got a lot of question marks, some important question marks at that, but
yeah,
Giant
if
fans?
Jackson Dart ends up starting, which I'm sure he will, because I think their beginning of the schedule is pretty brutal with
we'll
at
see.
Washington, at Dallas, Chiefs, Chargers. They have the win against the Saints week 5. Then the Eagles. It's a tough schedule.
It is tough.
But I can see them being like, Jackson Dart, you go in there.
I don't think.
I mean, if he shows something, that I consider that a win for the Giants.
You know what? I kind of disagree on that though, because I don't think unless they're eliminated from playoff contention, I don't think they're benching Russ. I don't. Because we said the same thing about it. We said the same thing.
If the offense looks ugly with Russ, the fans.
That's a different story. That's a different story.
That's what
if the offense is really that bad, then. But I mean, we said that last year when he was in Pittsburgh after they benched Justin Fields. We were like, what the hell?
Yeah, but Justin Fields can't throw.
Yeah, but they were winning with him is the point.
To be honest, the issue with the Steelers last season when they were losing was more the defense not falling apart.
Yeah, the defense fell apart.
More so than Russ. If you look at his stats and honestly watching him in film, he wasn't horrible. He was probably about as good as Justin Fields was. It's just the defense fell apart. Yeah. And that's the whole Steelers identity.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, Giant fans, I think you guys got some things to look forward to this year. All right, let's move on to our beloved Eagles. Because we got to talk about
Eagles.
Actually, I think they're the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles.
They are the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm gonna miss saying that. I have to say that the whole summer.
2 favorite things in the world got their rings.
Yeah,
it was phenomenal.
Damn, Kai, it's been a good calendar year for you so far, huh?
Phenomenal 2025.
It's been phenomenal. The Eagles, they lost a lot of guys. I'll tell you that much. I think they'll be fine. They did look. They couldn't pay everybody. And I think everybody knew that going into the offseason. Yeah, it's gonna suck. You want to get the band back together, but you knew it wasn't gonna happen. But I think where they put their money and where they spent their money, it was in the right spots, right? They extended Saquon Barkley. They locked up Zach Bond for the next 3 years. They extended Cam Jurgens. They got Lane Johnson back. And they locked down Nick Sirianni through 2027, which for an Eagles coach is like unbelievable. Like the guy's getting a 3-year extension. Whoop-dee.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's the bad, right? They lost Milton Williams. They lost Josh Sweat. They lost Isaiah Rodgers. They even lost Oren Burke, who was, filling in for Nakobe Dean after the injury in the wild card round, who was a guy that I thought was very affordable, who got a very friendly deal with Cincinnati, 2 years, $5 million.
Yeah, but to be honest, I really like. At the time we didn't know they were going to end up getting Jihad Campbell, but I still really like their linebacker room.
Yeah. They traded C.J. Gardner-Johnson for Kenyon Green, which I guess, is kind of a draw at this point with C.J. being out a lot and Kenyon getting cut. Straight up tough, bro. It's crazy. And then Darius Slay was released, signed with the Steelers. So did Kenny Gainwell. So they lost a lot. It's going to be a different roster. They got a lot of young guys coming up. Mekhi Becton was another guy they lost, but apparently, I don't know if you've been hearing the rumors around training camp. Apparently, Tyler Steen is blowing everybody away. So I guess
graduate of
I guess they'll be fine there because apparently he's just.
I have as long as Jeff Stoutman is the offensive line coach, I will never be worried about the offense.
Yeah. The Kobe Dean's not going to be out, to start the year, but Jihad Campbell looks fantastic in training camp. He's raw talent, big and fast. He's definitely going to be starting in week 1. I think they've got a couple of question marks at the secondary. Keely Ringo has not really been the guy they wanted to and going into his 3rd year. He's been kind of a disappointment, to be honest. He's not starting at this point. And then the pass rush, they lost Brandon Graham. I didn't even mention Brandon Graham either, who retired. Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, Milton Williams. They do got Moro Ojomo, 3rd-year guy. He's been nice in a limited role so far. But after Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, I think the depth is kind of a little bit concerning. But look at the talent on the offense. Did they not have one of the best offenses in the league, if not the best? And that's really where their bread and butter's been. So, at the end of the day, like as an Eagles fan, I'm not worried. Look, yeah, I know we got a tough schedule. I know how hard it is to repeat, but we're taking all these things in stride, and we got a team here. I mean, we got a good thing going here. So I'm personally not too worried. I know the depth's a little bit concerning, but I think they'll be all right. What are your thoughts?
I agree with you. Depth, it's, I guess, a little concerning. I'm a little more confident in the depth outside of maybe cornerback room than you are. I like a lot of the defensive line. I think Moro Ojomo is a name to watch this year. I can see him.
He was
taking
good
a big
last year.
leap
I like
forward.
watching him.
He was very solid last year. They got the whole defensive line. I think is gonna be the whole defense. I like a lot. It's a lot of young guys. They're cheap too. They're like I think 26 or 25.
Yeah.
Fifth cheapest
They're
defense in the
on their
NFL.
first contracts too, so
It's
that's
absolutely crazy. It's a young group. I love Vic Fangio as the head coach. Really brought the team together. And honestly, I think the team hit their stride like second half of last year. I feel like with the Lions blowing everybody out, nobody was really talking about them, but I know we were. Obviously, we're biased. But I think that the mojo and the run that they went on and the mentality I'm hearing about camp, how like they're not even going to be out on the field during the banner drop on Thursday, which
I know.
I'm very excited for that.
Is that like standard? I don't even know if that's like.
No, I mean I remember in 2018 after they won, they were like all on the field, they were writing books and stuff. They have this. They give me like Patriots vibes at this point with Jalen. Jalen being it's more kind of the opposite. I feel like Sirianni's more like maybe a Brady because he's more outspoken, and Jalen's kind of the serious Belichick role almost.
Yeah.
No, it's a strange comparison. I mean,
I get it. I see where you're coming from.
But yeah, but I like their mentality. I think that if Saquon stays healthy, which I think one thing that everyone talks about is like obviously he had so many carries last year, but a lot of his carries last year were like he barely got he had like a big yards before contact.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, a lot of runs that were.
But with the push they were getting up front, he didn't need it.
And they were, it's just, and like, honestly, a lot of the short line situations, like he wasn't used for that. And that's where a lot of guys get hurt because they had to push. So I think Saquon is going to break the trend. I think he is going to stay healthy all year. I would wish I got him in more leagues. Unfortunately, I could not. I only got him in one, and I'm probably only going to get him in one. Very sad. But I have the Eagles as the 1 seed in the NFC. I'll say it right now. And when we get to it, I'm pretty sure anybody who knows me can guess who I have going back and winning it.
Oh.
But we'll talk about that later.
I mean, what's there to talk about? You just spoiled it.
I think anybody who knows me knows
I mean, hey, I had
what I'm saying.
I had a large sum of money on that, so I mean, I'm the real winner. One thing that was just hilarious to me this offseason was that we traded for Dorian Thompson-Robinson. And I remember the day that happened, I put it in the Eagles chat that we have. I was like, there is no way this guy makes the team. And he got cut. And he got cut.
See him in that, what was that second preseason game? Jesus Christ.
He's like.
It's the Browns.
Terrible.
That was terrible.
I felt bad.
I'm sure he'll never be in the league again.
Yeah. No personal ill will, DTR, if you are watching. You're a friend of the show. Just
friend of the show, DTR.
Yeah.
Not that
so I want to go from the top of the NFC East, in your opinion, to what I believe is the bottom of the NFC East, and both
the team we haven't talked about yet,
the Dallas Cowboys. And look, I strongly dislike the New York Giants. I hate the Dallas Cowboys. I really do. And it has just been hilarious. Like the Jerry Jones show is just fucking hilarious. Like the video of him laughing and
long
hugging.
Live Jerry Jones. I hope he lives forever. I hope
the video of him laughing.
Immortality.
Yeah, dude, I hope he has the cure to cancer and he's not sharing it. That's how much I love him.
Well, he did you hear? He had cancer and he beat it. So
yeah, because he's a rich billionaire and he probably paid. Anyway. Going on a tangent.
Keep doing it, Jerry.
There's the videos of him like laughing and hugging with Micah's mom, and then like 2 days later they trade him. It's just comic. It is so funny to me. So I'll give you guys like the abbreviated 15-second version of what happened with Micah Parsons. So
I'm sure everybody knows.
I'm sure everyone knows by now. But like at the end of the 23 season, he asked for an extension. He didn't get one. Then he played in 24. At the end of last year, he's like, all right, I'm going to tell my agent to sit down with Dallas. Let's go to the table. But then, they didn't talk to the agent. And then this past March, he was talking with Jerry Jones about like leadership and whatnot. And Jerry's like, hey, how about that extension? And he's like, go through my agent. And that was in March. And then it got all the way to August. No contact from Jerry Jones and company. And then they're like, all right, well, I want to Mike is like, I want to trade. And he's like, oh, wait, no. He's like, dude, just talk to my agent. And then they went the entire month of March and they didn't talk to the agent. And then they traded him to the Packers.
Yeah.
It is just.
Well, no,
so...
did you also hear like there was that report that came out like a day or two after saying that basically Jerry Jones like gave the ultimatum saying like play on the 5th year, like play under the 5th year option or else.
Yeah.
Or else you're not playing for us.
Or don't play.
Or don't play.
It is just like if I were a Cowboy fan, like I wouldn't be a Cowboy fan anymore. I have people in my life that I know that are Cowboys fans, and they said I'm done rooting for this team. More than one, mind you. More than one. They're like, I'm done. I can't root for the team. I would.
Is one of those your brother?
No. Funny enough, it's not. One of them is not my brother.
Wow.
But it's so like they are the worst run organization in football, and I don't think it's even particularly close. I think the Bears are maybe a close second. That's it. And like even the Bears are starting to turn the corner.
No, it's the New York Jets.
Or the New York Jets. Yeah, I think you could argue that. But like
I don't think anybody. I think Dallas is better run than the New York Jets.
He like Jerry Jones is just like,
and the Cleveland Browns.
It's
but
comedy.
That might be it.
They're paying Dak Prescott all that money just to be mediocre, which is just asinine to me. Jerry Jones is talking about, oh, we got Kenny Clark to shore up the run. And like PPF, and mind you, PPF is not the the gold standard.
End all be all, yeah.
It is some sort of indicator. His run grade has gone down in each of the last 3 seasons, which is like, in 2024, his grade was like far below league average. So it's like, dude, what the hell are you talking about? They drafted Mazzie Smith to stop the run. That didn't work out. And I'm on the clock, and I'm taking Saquon Barkley 101. Let's go, baby. Where is he? Oh, cheers to a great pick. Woo! All right, I got to have this somewhere so I can see. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's like what are we doing? Like, come on. I think the Cowboys did actually pretty good in the offseason besides that. They got DeRon Bland. They paid DeRon Bland, which was good. They did that recently. They drafted a corner from East Carolina that I like. He's going to be out for a month or so to start the season. It's Siobhan Rebel. But, I mean, as the year goes on, he'll be pretty good. Tyler Booker, the rookie guard from Alabama, I think he'll be pretty good. But it's just it's the way, like the big decisions I just think the Cowboys consistently get wrong. And there's like, I just don't see any long-term success in Dallas. I really don't.
I don't like their head coaching hire. I feel like Brian Schottenheimer is just kind of like a Jerry Jones yes man.
He's a yes man.
Yeah. And I mean, to be devil's advocate, from some sources I hear from Micah Parsons' camp, or from I guess probably more Cowboys camp, is that like he is a little bit of like a drama queen, almost like a locker room issue. But I mean, I'd see it a little bit with like how he talks in his podcast and stuff, and like. But I mean, at the same time, though, like he's so talented. Like, why would you just get rid of a player in your car? It's just not a sign of a bad culture to piss him off that much.
Yeah.
That he just is like, I want to leave.
I mean, dude, the guy's a generational talent. Like, what are we talking about here? Like
it's like the Family Guy meme. It's like, oh, do you want a Micah Parsons or do you want the mystery box of 2 first rounders? He's like, but we with the mystery box. We could get a Micah Parsons.
Yeah, it's like Jerry Jones is talking. He's like, "Oh, we're going to use those 2 draft picks to draft Pro Bowl talent players."
Who says we're not going to use it to get someone now?
Like, guess who is a Pro Bowl talented player? Micah Parsons.
I personally think Dallas is going to probably end up. I think Dallas is the worst.
I think they're going to finish last.
I think they're going to be the worst team.
Yeah.
I think they are kind of doing like maybe a soft reboot this year, like with now they have the picks.
Yeah.
Like I think if they play it right, and Jerry Jones has drafted good players, it's just the issue is like with him, he all he cares about is like the money and stuff. Like this Micah thing brought
it's the
so
show,
much
man. It's the show.
He's been on
and the show must go on.
Saying like he just does this to get like media coverage because then it gets more value to the team and stuff. Like I don't see them really winning anything substantial until he dies, which I hope he never does. Live forever. Long live Jerry Jones.
Correct. I guess on the flip side, let's talk about the team where Micah went to, and that's the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, I mean, so I guess the obvious question, right, is what does Micah Parsons do for the Green Bay Packers?
I improved my. I had to change. I said last week I had my everything set. I was ready to roll. I made some big changes after the Micah trade, mainly involving the Packers.
There you go. I mean, in my opinion, I think he's enough to get them over the hump. By the way, contract is crazy, right? I mean, 4 years, $188 million.
So much money.
Yeah, I mean, overpaid, yeah, probably, but I mean, at this point, it's kind of worth it, right? I mean, you're not really paying anybody else. You got to keep Lucas Van Ness. You got to keep Quay Walker. You don't have to give up any of your young guys. So, like, at this point, I think it's absolutely worth it to pay him. Yeah, talk about the front, right? Rashawn Gary, Devontae Wyatt, Quay Walker, Lucas Van Ness, and now you add Micah Parsons. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
I mean, they had a lot of young players not really proven yet, but now that you got a proven pass rusher, it's going to help all the younger guys.
Yeah, you kidding me?
One quick note I wanted to say when you brought up the contract, this contract situation just makes me love Howie Roseman even more, because if Howie had Micah, he would have signed him right when he asked, and he probably would have gotten him for $35 million instead of $48.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Lovely. But just it does make me think Jalen Carter's going to get like north of $50 million a year, which is
probably in the ballpark when we cross that bridge. But I mean,
he's going to be over $50 million a year, which is nuts.
Speaking of overpaid, I think the Packers kind of overpaid for Aaron Brooks, the guard they got from San Francisco. Dude is kind of meh. I don't think he's really that good of a pass blocker. I mean, he's a starter, yeah, sure, but I don't think he's moving the needle all that much. Isaiah McDuffie was a good get for them. They only given him $4 million a year for 2 years. What about the rookies? The more rookie wide receivers in Green Bay. They've got Matthew Golden from Texas at 23rd overall, and they got TCU's Savion Williams in the 3rd round. Dude, Golden ran a 4.29 at the combine.
Woo!
4.29.
Fast boy.
Which was the fastest among all the wide receivers. First wide receiver taken in the 1st round by Green Bay since Javon Walker in 2002. So, historic pick. Historic pick. He's smaller physically, but I mean, he's an excellent receiver. My only concern, right, is that if Green Bay is going to be a run-first offense, there might be issues there with him because he kind of struggles as a blocker. But, I mean, you get him in space. I don't think that's going to be much of an issue. I think that really just falls on the shoulders of Jordan Love at that point to get the ball to him.
Yeah.
And then Williams, he's a big yak guy. He's athletic, 6'4". Got a bit of a drop problem. He tends to like trap the ball against his body instead of catching it with his hands. Oh shit, I thought I was on the oh my God, I got scared. Thought I was on the clock. My brother's on the clock. All I saw was Mastis. Yeah, he'll kind of be like Green Bay's gadget guy, Williams. Think like kind of what the Chiefs wanted Kadarius Toney to be. But I mean, all that to say also, I mean, their wide receiver room is, I don't know how, but it's always banged up, right? Like you got Christian Watson.
Yeah, Wicks got like a
like give me
injury. But like it's like he's probably gonna play this year, but like a lot of I've looked it up, like a lot of people with this like shear foot injury, like they either get re-injured or they're really just not effective. So if he's on your board, take him off your fantasy boards. Try to trade him if you can already.
I think all right. So I have the last pick of the 2nd round, and I got the 1st pick of the 3rd round. I think I'm taking Ladd McConkey here.
Okay, solid pick.
Yeah. Well,
anyway, Packers. I like Matt LaFleur. He's a great coach. They've been to the playoffs, I think, every year since he's been the coach, or been close to it. There was the one year. Yeah, I think the last year for Rodgers, they didn't make the playoffs. They've been very solid every year. They're a young team. I think now he's kind of built it in a way that he likes, and I think honestly their biggest weakness was like having a proven pass rusher. And they got it. And I think, in my opinion, like last week, if you asked me, I did have the Packers making the playoffs as a wild card. Now I have them winning the division.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that's a crazy pick. Like, that's really not. I mean, if the Packers stay healthy, I love them, especially down the stretch, because I think you'll find, right, that they might struggle a bit at first to gel on that. You know, they got a lot of new guys in the offense. The defense is going to take a little bit of getting used to now with the top dog in there with Micah. So I think what you'll see is they might struggle a bit down, early in the season. And then once we get into the second half of the year, I think you're going to really see the Packers. I mean, if that is, Jordan Love.
To be honest, I kind of argue differently just based on their schedule. I feel like outside of maybe their week 1 matchup against the Lions, I think they can go on a quite a bit of a run because then they host the Commanders on Thursday night. I mean, I think they're probably equal teams at this point. They go on the road to Cleveland, on the road to Dallas, bye. After the bye, they got the Bengals. That's tough, but they're at home after bye. And at Arizona, they have the Pits, they have Steelers, Carolina, and then the Eagles. But I think they can go in that stretch. Maybe I have them going 8-2 or 7-2.
Yeah.
I think they can get on a run early, and if they just keep that momentum going, I think that could help them later in the year when they have their tougher games.
I don't disagree.
Right, more divisional games, but I have them as the 2 seed in the NFC. Originally it was the Lions, but I mean, I don't know if we want to go to them next.
Yeah, we can go to them next.
Lions are really talented.
I've got,
but they have the coaches. They're gone.
All right, who am I taking?
And we saw what happens when their offense and their defensive coordinators, both of them leave in one season.
Yeah,
it's definitely a big issue. I mean, look at the Eagles in 2023, in 2023, lose both their coordinators just after a Super Bowl appearance, after the dominating run. It's hard to kind of recover from that. I'm really interested to see how they perform because they are really talented. They did also lose some pieces on the offensive line, like Frank Ragnow retired.
Yeah, that was big.
Part of their offensive line. That was big. Montgomery's a year older. Who knows? He was starting to get a little less effective down the stretch. He was a little banged up. But I think Gibbs is going to be phenomenal. I would take him in any league if I could get him. They're still really top heavy talented team. I mean, their issue last year was honestly injuries. Their whole defense was basically practice squad by the time they faced the Commanders and got upset. Mm-hmm. But I just think that losing both coordinators sucks. I think they're going to take a little bit of a step back. I originally had them winning the division, which really shows that I still am confident in them. I have them in the playoffs, and I think it's more that losing both their coordinators and facing a tough schedule that's going to stop them from being how they were last year. But I would not be surprised if they are Super Bowl contenders or they're in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah. I mean, I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head here. I think the real big concern, right, is how is the offense going to gel, with all the new coaches and the new, the thing is, it's the offense is very much the same besides, like you said, Frank Ragnow retired. The guy they got to replace Ben Johnson at OC, John Morton, he was the pass game coordinator for Denver last year with Bo Nix. I think he's kind of the perfect guy for Dan Campbell from what I've read up on. He emphasizes explosive plays. He's an aggressive play caller. So I think that offense is, for the most part, going to be okay. I think there's really 2 big concerns at the defensive position. That's right. Is Kelvin Shepard, who's replacing Aaron Glenn, is he the guy? He was, part of the Lions last year, and I think that's very telling when you can promote within your own organization, especially for a marquee position like defensive coordinator. Can he get these guys in order, right, with just staying healthy?
I mean, to be honest, can he get them to stay healthy? The Lions defense, how
I know that doesn't really come down.
Was really their issue.
Yeah,
early in the year, Hayden Hutchinson was on pace to have he was at 6 or 7 sacks through 3 weeks.
He was
before
up
he
there
got
too.
Hurt. Hopefully, he's back healthy. It's to be honest, the biggest question with them outside of the coaching at this point, losing both coordinators, is can they stay healthy? I honestly think. Much we love Dan Campbell, the bite kneecaps, tough mentality. To be honest, I think that might be why they get injured a lot because they play really tough. And when you play like that, you could get injured. I know there's stats being the teams that face the line. It's similar to the Niners a few years ago, but teams that face the Lions lose the next week every time.
Yeah,
and it's just they're just a really tough out.
They're a tough out. I mean, come on. There's and there's so many guys. Did you see the guy they added, Isaac Tesla? Which, by the way, did you grab him in that draft?
I wasn't able to, but I am currently trying to make a deal to trade for him.
Oh my gosh, dude! I don't know if you read up on the guy. I love him. So he was a projected 4th or 5th rounder. The Lions traded up to get him all the way up at 70 overall in the 3rd round. He's mostly a slot guy, but he's 6'4", He's like 6'4", 214. He destroyed the combine. He ran like a 4.43. And he tore it up so much in the preseason that the Lions ended up being comfortable enough to trade Tim Patrick to the Jaguars. You know, a lot of people are like, my personal comparison for this guy, he's just like Puka Nacua. He can do everything. He's a great route runner. He's a phenomenal blocker. So, I mean, they've just got guys on the offense, and they just get them. So, you know, I think it really boils down to, can the defense stay healthy? Can Aiden Hutchinson be the leader that he was last year? And, you know, can Kelvin Shepherd get these guys to come together as a group and play like an all-star defense? Because if they can, I don't see any reason why the Lions aren't right back in the NFC Championship. I really don't. So, well, I should say they were in there 23, not last year. But I think everybody, you know, they were. I think everybody can say that they were well on their way until, you know, the Commanders did what they did. Let's go to the Bears next, because you know, I'm ready to give Caleb and the Bears another chance. I'm ready to give them all a do-over. You know, we were just talking about Ben Johnson. He gets to stay in the division. He was, I think, in my opinion, very clearly the most sought-after coaching candidate this offseason.
And last offseason.
And last offseason, yeah. Dennis Allen's coming over from New Orleans after being sacked. He's now the defensive coordinator. You know, they needed to improve their O-line drastically. I think that was like priority number one for Chicago. They spent a lot of money at the position. You know, they traded for Joe Thuney. They got They traded for Jonah Jackson. They signed Drew Dahlman away from the Falcons. So I think they did a lot of good things. They definitely changed a lot of players out. The draft was kind of a different story, though, right? Because I think a lot of us were surprised at what the Bears did in the draft when they went with Colston Loveland, right? At 10.
Yeah, Colston Loveland in the first round. Yeah.
You know, taking him over Tyler Warren. You know, that was definitely a
I was very shocked. I was very annoyed because I did have Tyler Warren as the first tight end in the draft.
Yeah, and I think most people did. You know, Loveland's got a high ceiling, but it's kind of a crowded Bears offense, right? They got Swift, they got DJ, Roma Dunze, Cole Kmet. You got Luther Burden, who's the rookie from Missouri they took in the second round. I personally probably would have went offensive line, but I mean, look, they're looking for another playmaker, so I get it. You know, they're trying to surround Caleb Williams with talent, so I get it. They did go, for what it's worth, they did go offensive line in the second round, and they also went defensive tackle. They got Grady Jarrett. Hopefully that'll help them get after the quarterback a little more. I think the Bears are really a wild card, right? Because I think I can totally see the Bears flopping and, you know, doing what they normally do. But, you know, after all the stories that came out of Chicago camp last year.
That Caleb Williams wasn't even like getting film review with his coaches. Like, that's just
Shane
insanity.
Waldron was not reviewing film with his own quarterback. It's like, what are we doing? Like, you know, when you hear stories like that.
Now head coach of the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys.
He's fine as a coordinator. Just don't,
as you want.
don't give that guy any decision-making things, all right? Like, you know. So I don't know. I think the Bears are kind of a wild card. I probably have them going somewhere in the range of, you know, 6-11 to like 9-8, probably somewhere in between there. I don't know. What do you think?
I have them at 10-7. Just on the risk of the playoffs. They are not in the playoffs for me. But I have them. They're the last team out, in my opinion.
That's crazy.
I think their schedule's tough.
So you're high on them.
I am high on them. I can see them making the playoffs. I like Ben Johnson as a coordinator. I think he and Caleb can do some good things together. I hope. I think Caleb still has talent. I like their offensive pieces. I like Roma Dunze a lot. I think he's going to have a breakout year. I would like to have him in any of my leagues.
Should I try and get him tonight?
In any of my leagues. But yeah, I think you should. I like him a lot. I think
he's going to
bounce.
Oh,
probably somebody likes the Jets.
Someone took Brees all the way down there. You son of a bitch.
Anyway, but I think the Bears I hope are good, because I think Chicago desperately wants a good Bears team, and I think the good Bears team is good for the NFL.
Yeah, I agree with that. Speaking of wild cards, the last team in the NFC North, the Minnesota Vikings. I mean,
ultimate wild card,
right? Like I have no read.
It's completely dependent on JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, so
biggest unknown.
McCarthy will be the starter. He missed all of 2024 with a torn meniscus. Besides Jaden Daniels last year, I really did think he was like the most pro-ready guy. He's
I
going to
agree.
need
I was really high on him as well. I thought the Giants honestly should have taken him.
He's going to need time to develop, but I think the talent's obviously there. He's the only first-round quarterback since the year 2000 to miss an entire rookie season due to injury. So it's a very, very unique situation in Minnesota. I think the other thing that you're worried about with the Vikings is the concerns at the offensive line. You had Christian Darrisaw tear his ACL in Week 8 last year. He's questionable to start the year. Garrett Bradbury went off to the Patriots. So they got Ryan Kelly joining the Vikings over from the Colts. They signed Will Fries for a lot of money, and then they drafted Donovan Jackson from OSU in the first round, who's exceeded, but I think he is going to need a little bit more time to develop as a pass blocker. The O-line is okay, but it does not have a lot of depth, in my opinion, which could be concerning. They did lock up their coaching staff, so they did commit to that, that long-term stability there. They got Stefanski, Wes Phillips, and Brian Flores all receiving extensions. They were
Brian Flores. I would not be shocked if he is if he's head coach next year. Really like Brian Flores.
Yeah, after the whole NFL thing and the Miami thing, it might be hard for him to get another head coaching job, but
we'll see. That he's a hell of a coordinator.
He's a very good coordinator.
I like them a lot, Minnesota. It's just the big question mark is JJ McCarthy, and because of that, I don't have them in the playoffs. That in the division, I think if they were in any other division, I think they could win any other division. Maybe not the NFC East because of Gobert.
Well, I think they were. I mean, they were clearly big spenders in free agency on the defense. They brought in Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave. They re-signed Byron Murphy.
Is going to be really good.
Yeah, they got Isaiah Rodgers, very friendly 2-year, $50 million contract. They're going to try and get everything they can out of Jeff Okudah, the former 3rd overall pick. So, like I said, a lot of question marks. I think they'll be in the mix. I think they'll be a tough out as they always are, but probably.
But yeah, like I said last week, this division is the only division in the NFL that I wouldn't be shocked if any of the teams won it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Sorry, I'm on the clock now. All right, I gotta go quarterback here. Let's check in with Matt's fantasy team for a minute. So we've got
fantasy team.
We've got Saquon Barkley, we've got Ladd McConkey, and we've got Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
We've got.
Do you have a quarterback? What do you mean you know another quarterback?
Running back. DeAndre Swift, Tony Pollard, Isaiah Pacheco, Aaron Jones. I'm thinking DeAndre Swift.
I don't like that.
But there's no one else. I need another running back.
I would rather take Tony Pollard, or I would probably rather take Isaiah Pacheco.
No, I'm not taking Pacheco. Hell no.
Who's receivers on the board? You gotta always
Garrett
go best
Wilson,
available.
Garrett Wilson, Xavier Worthy, Marvin Harrison, DK Metcalf. Got Sam Laporta.
Receiver, to be honest, I like the receivers more.
I'll take Garrett Wilson. All right, now I got.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, dude, Garrett Wilson was fine for me last year. All right, take us into the NFC South. If you got
NFC South. I'll go into
decision out.
I'll go into the worst team, the team that we had a little bet on, New Orleans Saints. Spencer Rattler named the starter, and the rookie who I forgot who they drafted. But if you're a rookie and you can't beat out Spencer Rattler for the starting job, you also can't be very good. Clearly they're rebuilding.
No, dude, Tyler Shuck.
Out of the cap. Yeah, Tyler Shuck. If you can't beat out Spencer Rattler. I think they're clearly rebuilding. I think that they got to get out of all the cap situation, pushing the cap down the line that they used to do in the Drew Brees era.
Yeah.
So I think based on that, this is a clearly rebuilding year. I personally think come April 2026, it's going to be New Orleans on the clock for pick 101.
101? Yeah, I can see that.
I would not be shocked if they go the whole season without winning a game. That being said, I do have them winning 3 games somehow.
You have no faith in Kellen Moore? Come on.
I have a little bit of faith. I personally have them winning 3 games against the Jets, the Dolphins,
I think I have
the Falcons.
them winning 2, Kyle. I think I have them winning 2 games.
We'll see what happens. I don't really want to spend so much more time on them. It's just that I think they're really weak.
They named Well, look,
They're
they
the
brought
only
in
team
Kellen
without
Moore.
like a good. They have the worst quarterback situation
Yeah,
in the league,
and that's kinda tough
usually
to
that
work
means
with.
you're one of the worst teams in the league.
Well, I mean, look, I don't think Kellen
Just
Moore
ask
expected
the
Derek
Raiders
Carr to
last year.
retire. I didn't think. By the way, buy Derek Carr. That's going to be crazy. There's no Derek Carr in the league anymore.
Yeah, no, kind of crazy.
That's
I mean,
nuts.
he was barely in the league anyway because he was concussed and hurt all the
Yeah,
time. So
I know. Did you see who their defensive coordinator is?
no, I did not.
Brandon Staley.
Ah,
Which could work as long as he stays the
Work.
hell away from any decision making involving, clock management.
Correct.
I think it could work. Yeah, I think this. I don't think we have to spend too much more time here. I mean, look, the Saints are depleted of talent. They have by far the worst quarterback situation in the league. It doesn't translate to wins historically, and I don't think that's going to change this year. So, bite the bullet, Saints fans. I think if you guys draft well and save your money and spend big in another year.
look at the Titans last year. You could argue they were the worst quarterback situation in the league, and they had the number 1 overall pick.
There you go. I'll tell you someone I'm high on. Is the Carolina Panthers. I love the Carolina Panthers this year. Bye.
Big Bryce Young guy. We were a big Bryce Young podcast.
Well, I wasn't.
You weren't. I was a big Bryce Young guy.
Not at first.
Which is kind of funny because now I do have them going 9-8, but I do not have them in the playoffs. But I wouldn't be shocked if they do. Don't disrespect Bryce. I love Bryce. Don't take that as disrespect.
Look,
I just think that they have a tough schedule relatively, and their defense is mainly the more question mark than it is Bryce.
Yeah,
defense was horrible last year.
Yeah, well,
and I'm not sure if it got that much better.
Well, Derek Brown's back this year, which is absolutely huge. They were arguably the worst pass rush team in the league last year.
Horn, who got extended.
Yeah, they had to blitz a lot last year to get to the quarterback. Now they probably don't have to do that as much. Christian Roseboom they added from the Rams. They got Patrick Jones from the Vikings. I think the Panthers are going to be fine. I think they drafted relatively well. I think they'll be fine. Back to Bryce Young real quick. I think it's kind of a make or break year for him. What happened?
He's gonna go Bryce.
Oh, that's what happened.
Big Bryce Young guy.
Yeah, I think it's.
Dude was dueling against the Eagles. I mean, they lost, but they was dueling against the Eagles, dueling against the Chiefs.
It's a make or break
Dude
year.
had that great game against the Falcons at the end of the year. Dude's hot.
Yeah,
Bryce is back.
He got he had a bad rookie year. The team was bad his rookie year. He was bad. Bad start to year 2, and then he finished strong. Now, now let's see what you got. Now your ball's on the table. So I'm excited. I think Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle, I think that's a nice one too. And I know I talked about him last podcast. Tetaroa McMillan. Tet, T-Mac, baby. Rookie wide receiver from Arizona. 6'4", runs a 4.4. He's a phenomenal route runner. Dude's got it all. I'm extremely, extremely high on Tet. Now hopefully I can draft him here in a minute. I'm gonna have to cue him here. Tet. Q, baby, Q. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Oh,
but no, they're definitely a team in the right direction. They were really competitive towards the end of last year. Do they make that next step? I wouldn't be shocked, but just based on how I have my NFC lined up, I have them just missing out, but would not be shocked if they get into the playoffs.
That's fair. I think that's a very fair assessment. All right, moving on. Let's talk about the Atlanta Falcons. It was a very surprising offseason for the Falcons. Not to say it wasn't good, but they finally committed to bettering the defense, which was just did he just get drafted? I think he just got drafted. No, he didn't. He's still there. I gotta go I got 11 picks till I get him. He's not gonna happen.
Well, he's paying attention to the Falcons. I feel like are kind of similar-esque to Minnesota, but like a little different, just because I think their defense is the bigger question mark. But I think Michael Penix, he was pretty solid last year.
Yeah, you got a lot to see. I think reports out of training camp he's matured.
More to see with him.
They're saying all the right things,
as some people say.
Yeah. Jeff Ulbricht's the defensive coordinator there now. That sways you either way. They got they're very busy free agency. They got Leonard Floyd, they got Divine Diablo, Mike Ford, Mike Hughes, Jordan Fuller. They did lose Justin Simmons, Grady Jarrett, and Drew Dahlman, but think they made some splashes in the draft. So they took Jalen Walker out of Georgia. I think this guy's going to be phenomenal, personally. I think he's going to be great. He's got all the makings of a leader, and I'm actually shocked he dropped all the way to 15. I thought he could potentially go as high as 5 to the Browns.
Oh wow!
I had him very high. I was very high on him. And then they did something that shocked everybody, which was they traded up back into the first round to get James Pierce out of Texas. I personally wasn't so high on him. There was a lot of character and maturity issues pre-draft. Some coaches were questioning his dedication for the sport. And then he was involved in a few kerfuffles in training camp. Kerfuffle. He's a fiery dude, but Falcon fans seem to really like him. And they've seemed to embrace him. It gets after the quarterback, and Atlanta absolutely, they definitely need that. I think the Falcons are a bit of a wild card heading into 2025. I like Bijan.
I see that. I don't see them going I can't see them going worse than 7 wins, but I also wouldn't. I'd be kind of shocked if they're I think 10 wins is maybe their ceiling. I don't see them going higher.
Yeah, I'd say 10's probably pushing
they
it.
feel just the mid team. They're
yeah. I think that I think they're I don't know. I think 10.
Who knows though? Kyle Pitts. If Kyle Pitts blows up,
yeah.
Kyle Pitts 101.
Oh, there's my roster. Okay, what do I need? This is hard to do.
I
didn't realize this would be hard. How'd you do this
mid.
last year?
I don't know. It's crazy, but I won though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Falcons. They're very. I think they're mid.
Yeah, I
have them at 7 and 10. On
something
the
like that.
The mid.
Something like that.
But mainly because I'm higher on Carolina and I'm higher on the Bucs. But yeah, mid.
Oh my God, my own brother just took him. You son of a bitch. Oh, we'll have a discussion later. We got one more team in the NFC
Oh, and
South.
Bijan. I think Falcons offense is all though. Bijan, Drake London.
Well, they gotta commit to him. That's
Kyle
all.
Pitts even.
They gotta commit to Bijan.
I think those are gonna be those are solid.
Yeah.
Fancy picks.
I think they just have to commit to him as well.
To be honest, unironically, I think Kyle Pitts is gonna be pretty good this year. I know the meme going around.
What is with you and Kyle Pitts? You just
dude. I think this is his year. He's only 24.
He's only 24. I've been hearing Kyle Pitts was going to be the shit for the last
Kyle Pitts breakout year.
17 years.
I'm calling it now.
And he's only in year 4,
I'm putting my
apparently.
stake on the ground.
Yeah.
I'll bet anything, Matt. This will be our Saints bet. I already know it. I'm big on Kyle Pitts.
No, thank you. Oh, Bill's here, Kyle. Should I draft Bill?
Yeah, you draft Bill. Bill.
No, I think I'm going to take, well, in case any of these fucks are listening. I'll bite my tongue for now. Yeah.
I would not be shocked.
All right, let's move on to the Bucs. The big move for them, obviously, was re-signing Chris Godwin, coming off that dislocated ankle that ended his season last year. 3 years, $66 million. That's quite a commitment there. They also locked up.
Not bad if you look at the general receiving market. They definitely got him at a discount because there was rumors he could have got more than.
Oh
that.
yeah, are you kidding
me? He
me?
even said so.
That was a good.
He didn't take the biggest offer because he just likes Tampa so much.
Yeah,
shows you the culture that Todd Bowles has built there.
Oh my God, all the wide receivers are getting drafted.
I know Tampa. I don't know if you've been hearing this from people. A lot of people like Tampa a lot. I've been hearing a lot of chatter of them going in the NFC Championship. I've seen a lot of people pick them to even get out of the NFC as winners of the NFC.
Man, I love him. I love Tampa. Are you kidding me? I mean,
Tampa.
I'm picking them to win the division. I'll tell you that much.
I am as well.
So
I'm not bold enough to pick Carolina.
Nah, not yet. Not yet.
Would not be shocked.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think that Tampa is a little bit of an older roster. They still have a lot of players like Levante David, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. They're all a little older. Can Baker keep his success that he's been going on? He had a really high touchdown rate last year. Is he going to continue that? I don't know. But I still think they're really solid. I'm not as high as them as some people in the national media and other people are, but I'm not low on them where I'm going to say they're not going to win the division. Be a tough out. I have them at 10-7. I have them winning the division.
I agree with that.
Granted, they're the 4 seed, but I do have them winning the division.
Speaking of, there's one guy I want to talk about who I'm actually about to draft right now. Is
Emeka
Egbuka. Where is he?
Egbuka. Dude, I think he's going to be a stud. I don't know if you heard, but on the Kelsey Brothers podcast, I might have mentioned this last week, but they asked Baker Mayfield what's he's most excited about for the season. very general question, and he's like Mbuka.
Emeka, there he is.
He's like the kid's a stud.
I was like, I couldn't draft him. I don't know where he was.
And I think like Godwin, he had a really bad injury last year. I remember watching it live. His ankle just blew up.
Yeah.
But so
tough.
I think he's not going to play. I think he's on the pup. He's out at least the first 4 weeks.
I have no idea who to take. Travis Kelce's there. TJ Hawkinson's there. Jerry Jeudy's there.
Keep my engagement, bro. Kelsey's going to be great at the beginning of the season because Rashee Wright is suspended. He's going to take all those Rashee Wright targets.
Do I go him or Hawk? That's what I'm thinking. Is Warren there? Is Tyler Warren there, though?
Oh, yeah. Take Aaron Warren if he's still.
He is. He's going to go so later, though.
No, he's not. Everybody's reaching the fuck out of Tyler
Well, I'm not going to reach. Should I just
every time I'm like,
I got 15 seconds. Who do I take?
Tyler Warren. Maybe I can wait around. He always gets taken.
I got to take somebody.
He's been reached in every get draft.
I'm taking Travis Kelce.
Like his ADP's, you can't play. Yeah, okay.
I took Kelce.
Engagement,
yeah, dude, Emeka is, I think he's the most pro-ready wide receiver in the draft, especially with Jalen McMillan missing most of the season with the neck injury. I'm expecting him to make an immediate, and Mike Evans is Mike Evans. I know he's going to get his. He's, little older this year. Chris Godwin,
yeah, I think he's going to take that Godwin role like how he was early in the season.
Yeah.
With Godwin, if you remember, he was like wide receiver 4 or 3 in fantasy.
Yeah.
Through the first 6 weeks.
Yeah,
I would not be shocked phenomenal. If he takes that similar role.
Mm-hmm. So I think the Bucs are still the class of the NFC South heading into this year. Also, Shiloh Sanders got cuts, just so we can mention it. He did.
He's now considering a career change. I don't know if you saw that article.
No, I did not, and I have no interest in reading that article. Anyway, all right, so that just leaves the NFC West, man.
NFC West, where do you want to start?
Let's go to Seattle. So someone paid Sam Darnold, and it was Seattle. 3 years, $100 million. He's reunited with Clint Kubiak, who's the new OC. Ryan Grubb was fired after 1 year. The thing is with me, it's like the Seahawks offense was just so mid last year. Like they were just they were so mid. They were just extremely mid last year. They had, they did overhaul a lot of their offensive assistants and whatnot. So I think that's a step in the right direction. But your question is, right, is Sam Darnold, does he have it?
Yeah.
Go.
I think he kind of does. Seattle is by far the most frustrating team for me to decide what to do with them. I wish every day I feel like my opinion on Seattle changes. I think initially I didn't really like the Sam Darnold deal because like with Minnesota, I think that's kind of the best you're gonna get. I don't really see how much of an upgrade he is compared to Geno Smith. But and then they got Cooper Kupp, who's super old and injured. But they did get Clint Kubiak from the Saints. And if you remember, the Saints offense, the first 2 weeks.
That was a great 2 weeks.
3 weeks. They were phenomenal. And I think the Seattle team's low-key kind of built similar to that Saints team with Kenneth Walker. And you got Jackson Jingba as your lead receiver. Kenneth Walker maybe taking that Alvin Kamara role.
Mm-hmm.
Even you have Zach Charbonnet in there as a change of pace.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm Seattle's gonna be really good. I would not be shocked if they win the. Other times what are you thinking, Kyle? Seattle low key kind of sucked. Last year I was really low on Seattle, and obviously I was wrong. They were pushing for a playoff spot. I had them pushing for a top 5 pick. So I really don't know. I have them mid. I don't have them in the playoffs. I have them actually at 8 and 9, but it's just they're a team that I can see going really poorly or really great. I'm not sure what I think of Mike McDonald. He was a great defensive coordinator with the Ravens. I get what kind of team he's building. It's just will his scheme hold up with that talent?
The thing is,
I think it's built for the scheme, but is the talent good enough?
I think everybody. I think they're doing
the offensive line.
Yeah, the O line's okay. They got Gray Zabel, the rookie from North Dakota State, Charles Cross in his 3rd year. I think the O line's okay. I just Sam Darnold. I mean, some of the decisions he made last year just had you scratching your head, and it kept you second guessing. I don't know, man. I don't know if this guy's got it. I think it was a flash.
The big thing is Sam Darnold
personally.
Last year was phenomenal at play action, and this team with
but every time he held onto the ball, you're like, what the hell is this guy gonna do? He's got to get him to read the field quicker. He's got to get him to just he just needs him to be quicker, and make better decisions. I don't know. I think they're going to be competitive again in 2025. I think you'll see some flashes, but I do think it'll take some time for Darnold to get comfortable in that offense. It is a different offense, to your point. It is a very different offense than the Vikings offense he was in last year. So I don't know. We'll see. I think I almost said the Vikings. The Seattle will be competitive.
They're definitely a team I'm really interested to watch week 1.
Yeah,
I'm
that
really
is true.
interested to see how they perform.
I'll say that much. All right, let's move along here to your guys, the San Francisco 49ers. Tell me about the 49ers, Kyle. Tell me about them.
49ers, obviously, last year was everything went wrong, could have gone wrong. This is the team that low-key I thought the window has shut. I was not high on them at all. I thought them being bad was going to continue. But however, I kind of changed my tune. The main thing is their schedule. Their schedule is ridiculously easy. Just like skimming through it, even with a pessimistic view, I don't see how they don't come out with at least 9 wins. It's because they play the NFC South. They play a 4th place schedule in the NFC, which is the weaker conference. They play the AFC South, which low-key is pretty weak. Like, it's just I don't see how they don't finish with a winning record. And with that being said, I do have them winning the NFC West. Originally, I did not, and we'll get to that team in a little bit. But and then also I ended up taking a few 49ers in fantasy drafts, which made me get more hyped on them. But I don't see them going far in the playoffs. They lost a lot of their key contributors over the years, but I think Kyle Shanahan's a great coach. I think they do have pieces. I think Brock Purdy is underrated. I used to be a Brock Purdy hater. Now I respect him. I think especially last year when everything was going wrong, everyone was injured, he still played really well from the games that I watched. I think CMC is going to bounce back as long as he stays healthy. He's still a phenomenal player. So I really don't see how they don't make the playoffs just purely based on schedule, unless they break, which they easily can because they're known to do that.
I'll tell you how they don't make the playoffs. So I guess a little preface on this. Back in March, they were like the only team I gave the grade of an F for their offseason. And it was mostly because, they moved on from 17 total players that were on the roster last year, which, judging how last year went.
Most of those guys were like old and injured. They needed to clean the books.
I mean, I'll name
made so much money to go on those Super Bowl runs.
I'll name a few who weren't though.
Major losses.
Deebo Samuel, Taylor Hufanga, Dre Greenlaw, Travarius Ward, Javon Hargrave. Those are good guys. Those are good football players.
Did they even contribute last year? They're older.
Deebo definitely did. Hufanga did when he was. I mean, Hufanga was all right. Greenlaw, Ward definitely.
Most. Deebo's kind
Hargrave
of
had a good year. Okay. I don't know, man.
Hargrave didn't play. He was hurt most of last year.
He was good when he played. They didn't. My rationale was they didn't really bring in enough guys because now they're paying Brock Purdy, which, by the way, they waited way too long on to do that. They should have done that before Josh Allen got paid. So he got 5 years, $265 million, which is a lot of money for Brock Purdy, and a no trade clause.
If you look at like how it's structured, like there's a lot.
Of course, they did the Howie bullshit.
How many money? It's all like the agents talking. Like if you look at how it's structured, it's pretty similar to like the Jordan Love deal and the Lawrence deal and stuff. Yeah. You just got to pay the guys now. It's just how the market is. It's not the worst deal in the real world, Dak Prescott, but it's not hard. It's like kind of how the market is.
Yeah, no, it's fair.
I wasn't a hater of the deal. I think even if they did it a little earlier, maybe they would have saved a few bucks. But
it's just they spent. Much. So here's where they spent. They spent all their money on Purdy, and then they extended George Kittle and Fred Warner, which obviously is a very good thing for San Francisco to do, but the cap is just very top heavy in San Francisco. So I don't know. I think they drafted well. I think it did get better after the draft. They got Mykel Williams from Georgia. Very raw talent, but I think over time you'll see good developments from him. Nick Martin from Oklahoma State, I'm actually very, very high on. He's extremely athletic, and I think he'll make an immediate impact this year. Upton Stout from Western Kentucky. Cornerback. He's been spotted getting reps with the first team defense. So I think it was a mild overreaction in March. I'm still not high on the 49ers personally, but we'll get to that.
Now you got Rob Saleh back as defense coordinator.
Yeah.
I think he's a better coordinator than he is a head coach.
It's just
I if you look at their schedule,
it's so easy, dude.
Cannot see how
Yeah,
they I even like when I was low on the Niners. Now I'm like a little more looked into it. I'm a little higher, but just looking at their schedule, I do not see how they're not at least a wild card just because their schedule's so easy.
To your point, yes, I agree with that. To your point. Did Nick Chubb just get drafted? No, he didn't. Oh my god, I'm on the clock next. I hate it. All right. Rams are next. The whole.
I think this is gonna be. I think we're not gonna be similar on this at all.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, tell me because I think
you're much higher than I am on the Rams.
All right, go ahead. Tell me why. Tell me why. Freak out about who to draft.
Do not have the Rams making the playoffs. Actually, with the way tiebreakers
I
have them last.
Wow.
In NFC West. If you recall,
tell me why
the Rams, the first half of the season last year, where Stafford was banged up and they had quite a few injuries, there was talks of them trading Stafford.
Yeah.
And they did not look good. They bounced back and went on a run because of their young players on defense and Stafford coming back healthy. But what are we hearing out of training camp? Stafford's back. Mysterious. Allegedly, he's going to play. But it's like the Trump rumor that he's dying. Like, nobody's hearing from him. It's just, I think that the Rams, that first half of last year, and also the year when Stafford was hurt and like Baker came in for the one game, they just don't look good if they don't have a quarterback. And guess who the backup is for Matthew Stafford? Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy G,
does
baby.
Not inspire confidence.
Jimmy G.
I feel horrible for Devontae Adams if Stafford doesn't play because he's on that receiver show on Netflix. He's like, Jimmy G's just throwing me hospital passes. And guess what? He's back to Jimmy G throwing hospital passes. I don't like the back news with Stafford. I mean, I think if you told me before training camp who's winning the NFC South, NFC West, I'd be like Rams easily. The closest game to the Eagles. Easy. I think the fact that game was so close was the snow, and everybody bitches that the snow benefited the Eagles. The snow also benefited the Rams, and I just think that I think that game is giving media and everybody more hype, and the fact they won a Super Bowl a few years ago, Stafford, all the buzz with that, and Sean McVay. I don't know if it's a hot take.
So it seems like you're questioning the longevity of Stafford and the overall continuity of his play, but also just some kind of the moves they made. I mean, look, to your point, there was some talk about the trade or potential retirement from Stafford, but ultimately they brought him back for this year and most likely next year. I like the duo of Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua personally. I love that. I like it too. Dig it, man.
Stafford's healthy, but I don't think he is.
Yeah, I dig it. Much of the offensive and defensive units are the same. They brought in Poona Ford to help with the run. They you mentioned trading Jonah Jackson away to get to free up more money. I mean they're kind of just running it back, aren't they? They traded back in the draft.
Back, see what happens. If you look at some of their moves, if you remember in the offseason, there was talks of Stafford going to the Giants, and stuff like that. And the Rams weren't really denying it, and it took them forever to extend him how he wanted. And then also there's the fact that they traded back in the first round. Now they have 2 first rounders next year.
Yeah.
Maybe that's ammo to go trade up and get one of these young quarterbacks in the draft class next year.
Possible.
I think
or trade at the trade deadline.
They're like, I think they weren't expecting that they went on the run that they did last year. I think mainly that was because San Francisco fell apart. And they just had a quite easy schedule towards the end of last year. And honestly, that game against the Eagles, I think everyone's saying it was close because the Rams are really good. If you watch the offensive line couldn't really block well against their pass rushers because of the snow.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying the snow wasn't a benefit for the Rams. It 100% was a benefit for the Rams.
Yeah.
Because Saquon would have still probably ran 200 yards because he did that earlier in the year.
It wouldn't have mattered. No, I don't put any stock into the snow bullshit at all. I don't think it's anything like that.
Yeah. I think that game alone, the fact that they were the closest against the Eagles, is giving them a lot of media hype, and everyone's forgetting how they were the first half of last season when there was talks of them
Which, to your
trading
point,
Stafford to the
was
Vikings.
inconsistent. It was very inconsistent
And
play,
honestly,
you know?
if you remember that game against the Vikings, they won because of that controversial no call
Oh,
in the
yeah.
end
Wait.
zone.
The hold.
If that call goes another way, who knows if the Rams
Yeah,
even make the
that was
playoffs? Who knows if they
bad.
keep Stafford after that?
That was bad.
Like, it's just one little play like that could change a whole season.
Thus
I
is
just think people are forgetting about that with
thus
the
is
Rams.
thus is
And
football.
that's why I don't see them making I think there's better teams in their division. I think Seattle's arguably better. I think San Francisco's probably about the same, but they have a way easier schedule. And we're gonna get to the other team that I'm really high on, and then for the next team in this division.
Yeah, I mean,
That's just my opinion on it.
I don't-
It's a hot take, but I'm pretty confident in it.
I don't have anything else to say about the Rams, so we can move on to the Cardinals. Yeah, I mean, hey, hot take, man. I love it. I have this predisposition for some reason that the Cardinals are gonna stink. And I went through and I looked at my notes and I'm like, they're gonna stink. The numbers and whatnot, they're gonna show me why. And I honestly like a lot of the things the Cardinals did this offseason.
I
really
like
do.
the Cardinals too.
They had a lot of coaching changes on the defensive side. Good. Their defense was shitty last year. D-line. They added Josh Sweat. They got Calais Campbell coming back now. They got Dalvin Tomlinson. LJ Collier re-signed. Budda Baker got the 3-year extension. A lot of good things happened on defense for the Cardinals. And then they got, Trey McBride, the historic 4-year, $76 million extension. Very good investment. The guy was more or less their whole offense last year. They got Zay Jones, Greg Dortch coming back for some more wide receiver depth. They signed Quez Watkins? I didn't know that. He's out for the year and they cut him, but I didn't know they signed him. I was like,
no, I did know that actually.
I didn't know
I
that.
love Quez Watkins.
They re-signed Evan Brown, Kelvin Beachum on the offensive line. And then they got in the first round, they got Walter Nolan, which another defensive tackle, and he's going to start the year on the PUP list, unfortunately, but I think it's a good pick. It was, the guy's very talented. Someone I'm super high on is Will Johnson from Michigan, who's earned first-team reps in training camp, and he's showing signs of becoming a leader of a very young defensive core for the Cardinals. I love that pick. Much of the offensive core remains the same. It's Kyler Murray. They got James Conner, Marvin Harrison. And then Trey McBride, obviously. So, and they were kind of an above-average offensive team last year if you look at the numbers, and they really only improved on defense. So, is it? I'm like, why am I not sold on this team? Am I not sold on Kyler? He has shown he can't play a full season without getting hurt. The O-line has to be better. Specifically in the passing block game. Is it? I mean, not really. I think the Cardinals, they really do have a high ceiling, honestly. The more I sit down and look at it and I try to convince myself that they're not it, I think they have a pretty high ceiling.
No, I agree. I think they are it. I think, honestly, thinking more about it and looking at their schedule and everything, I think I'm going to go back. I changed it earlier this week. I had it originally as them winning the division. I changed it back to the Niners. I'm talking with you about the Niners, looking at it again. I think I'm back at it. Cardinals win the NFC West.
Wow. I wouldn't go that far.
I think Jonathan Gannon, every year the defense is getting a little better. I think Kyler's a very solid quarterback. I think he's underrated. I think their schedule is right now, honestly, their first 6 games are all very winnable. I think they could easily go 5-1 in that stretch. At New Orleans, I think that's a win. We're going to get to that later. Carolina, they could beat Carolina, even though we like Carolina. At San Francisco, it's a divisional game. Who knows? Seattle, Tennessee, Indianapolis, they could easily go 5-1, 4-2 in that stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And if you start hot, you keep rolling.
I
like them a lot this year. Marvin Harrison, I think, is going to take a step up. I think James Conner's solid, and even if he does get hurt because he's a little older, I like Trey Benson a lot. I've been scooping him up in late rounds.
You know what? I just queued him, bro. I just queued him. That's so funny you say that.
I like Arizona a lot. Every year there's always a little team that comes in and surprises everyone making the playoffs. Last year was Minnesota. I think this year it's Arizona. I think it's a team nobody's really talking about, nobody's thinking about. I think they're due. I think they're due to make. I don't know if they're going to make any noise, but I think they're going to make the playoffs. And actually, I have them winning the NFC West.
I mean, look, to be fair, I think the NFC West is probably the most wide open division in football. I think any of these teams could really make a play. And I really don't see any one team winning more than, say, 10 or so games. You know, if one of those teams in the NFC...
Yes, I agree.
If one of those teams got to like 11 wins, I'd probably be like, 11 wins at the very most. And I think we're only really talking about San Francisco or Los Angeles at that point. I think it's wide open. So, all right, let's.
Nick, I don't think nobody from the NFC West is winning the 1 seed.
No, I wouldn't expect that. But I guess let's go down the line here because I have the division winners, or who I think are going to be the division winners here.
Do you want to go 7 to? So we're going to do division winners first.
Yeah, let's do division winners.
Are we going to go? Let's go down the seeds. So let's start with our 1 seed. Yeah. Next seed, number 2 seed.
The Eagles. All right, number 2, I have the Green Bay Packers.
I also have the Green Bay Packers.
Are we gonna have chalk here again? Well, not chalk, but we're gonna be.
No, I don't think so.
We're gonna be down the line here, aren't we?
Who's your 3 seed?
South, the NFC South division winner, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at number 3.
I have the Arizona Cardinals at 3 seed.
Wow! Holy smokes, Batman! What? Okay, and then the 4 seed is.
I have Tampa Bay.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So, and then I have the Rams.
Okay.
Wild card 5, 6, 7. I've got the Lions, Commanders, and the 49ers, which I did not expect.
The Lions, Commanders, and the 49ers.
Oh, all right. Well then, shit, man. There you go.
The only difference is I thought we were gonna have such different playoffs.
Damn.
The only difference is Cardinals, Rams.
Yeah, really. Well, all right. So my teams on the outside looking in, I'll give you those. I'll give you the Panthers. I've got the Seahawks probably in the same ballpark as the Cardinals. And then I also have the Bears making some noise. Actually, I do.
I have on the outside looking in. I got Bears, Panthers, Vikings, and like Seattle Rams.
Oh God, who do I go with here? Oh, Colston Loveland's still there. Maybe. Oh, I should get Brandon Aubrey. He's gonna have like 20 points a game.
Ew, gross Dallas. I would never draft a Dallas player. He's
gonna be the best kicker this year. What are you talking about? I should absolutely get him. Dallas Goddard. Tucker Kraft. Oh my gosh, this is like so stressful.
Hey, but here, okay. Well, what do you got? NFC Championship.
All right,
who's going?
NFC. All right, you go. You give me yours first.
Eagles. I think you also have that.
Go Birds.
And then I have the Packers at Eagles.
Oh, Trey Benson's here. I should get Trey Benson probably.
Yeah, we just talked about him.
Nah, is it too high? I wouldn't pick it.
Never can go too high on a running back. 144.
I need running back depth because right now I have Saquon Barkley, DeAndre Swift, and Nick Chubb.
Yeah, you need a running back.
Yeah, I think
Trey Benson.
I think I need the running back.
Who do you have? Who do you have facing the Eagles in the NFC Championship?
So, let's go here. I have the Lions.
Oh,
I've got the Detroit Lions versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
NFC Championship game. Everyone thought we were going to.
I was going to say
we will be going to.
Yeah, and that's I really do think we're going to get an NFC Championship preview. I think. I
think we're also going to get an NFC Championship preview, but it's going to be on the road.
I was trying to give everybody, I was trying to hype everybody up on the Packers just because I really do think Micah makes that big of a difference, but.
It did for me. If we did this show before the Micah trade, I would have had the same pick as you.
Same pick.
I switched it,
and that's fine. I
Packers.
I was going back and forth between the Lions and Packers, and I'm like, look, at the end of the day, which offense do I trust more? Because I think it really comes down to it does come down to the health of the Lions defense, but at the end of the day, I've seen it more from that Lions offense. Like they are freaking lethal.
Yeah, but it's a different coordinator. Matt LaFleur
I
offense.
understand, but dude. Jordan Love, I have to see it for a full year. I have to because You know, the Eagles had a very good defense last year. The Link is a very difficult place to play football in, especially in January. But he just did not look good. And that's a wild card game, man. I mean, you see, Jared Goff has been in the Super Bowl. You know, they've taken
Didn't
very
look good in the Super Bowl.
well. They've taken very different paths there. You know, Jared Goff was obviously a very young guy when he was in his first Super Bowl with LA, and you know, to my, I guess, to counter my point, like, they only put up 3 points. So, but you know, he's got a lot of pedigree. He's shown poise. You know, minus the 1 interception or the 5 interception game. But
yeah, they won that game though.
They won that game, and so, you know, you're gonna. I don't know. I don't know, and it really bothers me because it's like, do I pick against the Eagles? Or do I say that the Eagles are the number 1 seed, they go back to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl again? In which case, I could give you I'm going to give you 2 scenarios. I'm going to give you one scenario where the Eagles don't make the NFC Championship game and the Lions win and they get to the Super Bowl. Or the other scenario I give you is the Eagles get to the NFC Championship. I can't pick against them by virtue of me. and I really do think that is a possibility. I'm not just saying that because I root for the team and that I want them to win and that I can't pick against them because I root for them. I do think the Eagles are that talented.
My fiance said, she asked me when I said, obviously, I'm going to say, yeah, the Eagles are winning the Super Bowl again. That's my pick. She was like, do you legitimately think that? Or are you just saying that because you're an Eagles fan? I'm like, no, I legitimately think that they're that good. Like, I think if it was a year, like there's every year, Matt, I do say this to Matt, that I think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. There's years where I think that, and then there's years where I say that.
But you'll usually tell me. You usually just tell me if I'm I'm just talking.
No, but like if like there's been years where I tell Matt, I'm like, I legitimately think this. Like, I remember, I think I can't remember the years when I did this. I think 2017 I did it. 2022 I did it. 2023 I did it. Last year I did it. This year I'm doing it. Yeah. I think every other year I wasn't really serious about it.
So I'll give you scenario A and scenario B. I think Bills Lions, because we took who did you take yesterday?
Bills.
Week?
We both took Bills.
All right, so I have Bills Lions or Bills Eagles. I think the Eagles win the Super Bowl and repeat, or I think
you're just doing a chop shot because you don't want to be viewed as a homer. I got Eagles over Eagles.
Fine,
I
take them.
Eagles over Bills.
I don't care. I don't care.
No, you're saying you're doing like I have 2 picks. You only have 1 Super Bowl pick. You can't have 2.
Gun to my head, go Birds. Fine.
Eagles over Bills.
Do you see my wall? Have you seen the good news?
I have a bet on it. Eagles over Bills.
Have you seen it?
The Super Bowl right last year. I'm gonna get it right this year.
It's ridiculous.
2 for 2 on the Picks podcast on Super Bowl predictions.
All right, and then they're both the Eagles. That'd be pretty sick.
Dude, you got it. It's not. You can't. I gotta prove I'm not a one-hit wonder. You know?
Yeah, you're right.
Gotta go on a run.
All right, so it looks like we're both sold on the Bills making it to the Super Bowl, and then there's some variability, aka I'm too much of a pussy to pick the Eagles.
Matt doesn't want to be Homer. You know it's the Birds.
Yeah. Go Birds. All right. With that said, let's get into Week 1 because look, it's Tuesday and I got the rest of the week to work, as do you, and I can't freaking wait till Thursday, man.
Oh my God,
get me to Thursday, bro. All right, so I'll preface this. It's Week 1. For my money, I'm watching every game as I do every week. But if you're really gonna sit down and make time to watch as many games as possible and try to watch as many games as possible at the same time, Week 1's your best bet. That's gonna give you a baseline for, how each team looks. New offenses, even if you're not watching every game, make a conscious effort to watch some highlights. Go watch as much film as possible. That's going to, at the end of the day, you can have other people's opinions, and that's fine. I don't want to chastise anybody. People have busy lives and whatnot, but if you really want your own opinion, watch the games, and that's what I do. So,
yeah,
with that being said, I will tell, if there's a select few you got to pick from, I got a list in front of me. Obviously, home opener, Thursday night, Cowboys at Eagles. 8:20 p.m. I mean, we're both going with the Eagles here, and I really don't think it's particularly close.
I moved a full point
because of Micah.
It was moved by half a point because of Micah, but I was just checking now because obviously I placed the KB Tease already. I placed it a while ago. Matt knows I placed it 2 weeks ago, but I was gonna place it now just to see what it would be.
Oh shit! I'm picking soon. All right, yeah.
Either
Either way,
Cowboys.
yeah, Eagles
First
Cowboys.
game of football in like 8 months. You have to watch it.
Yeah, you have to watch that game. I think we're both going with the Eagles though, and
and also I mean I don't know if I figured if my survivor rule pick is the Eagles, there's no way the Eagles are losing their banner drop. I'm saying it right now.
Friday night you've got in Sao Paulo, in Brazil.
Brazil part 2.
Chiefs and Chargers. Hopefully they got the field figured out. I mean, come on, you go a whole calendar year and the field still stinks and people are out there slipping and sliding.
Game is on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. I mean, look, you know how these Chiefs-Chargers game play out. Chargers give them a good game, and the fourth quarter comes, and the Chiefs either go on a game-winning drive or it's, the game.
Chiefs favored by 3. Honestly, I think the Chargers are going to win this game. I think low-key being the
I would love it. Don't get me wrong.
Brazil game, I think it matters. I think you get an advantage. And so I think the Chargers are going to win.
It's fair. It's fair. And then, I'm picking Kansas City, and, I don't think anyone could really blame me for that. But we've got Sunday games too. And I think the Sunday games you should focus on are Steelers at Jets. I love that.
Aaron Rodgers return.
Aaron Rodgers return.
Jets
Justin
revenge
Fields
against
also
Aaron Rodgers.
going for some revenge as well. I think that's going to be a really good game. I'm leaning Steelers right now, but I think that's still up for debate. I'm not sold either way yet. It's the Jets' home opener. They historically have performed well in home openers, so
True.
I think the Jets definitely have some room for a little bit of a upset there, if that's what you want to call it. You've got the Panthers at Jaguars, which I think is going to be the most underrated game of the entirety of Sunday.
I agree. Man, I are very big.
I don't think anybody's looking at that game like I have to watch it. Trust me, watch that game. Watch that game. You won't be disappointed. I think it's going to be a great game. I do have Carolina winning. They are plus money on the road. I think it's great value. That being said, I don't think Jacksonville is going to lay down and die. I just think it's a matter of whose offense is clicking more. And I think that the Panthers have shown you, at least in recent times, that they've had the better offense. And therefore, that's why I'm picking them. I mean, who are you taking?
Oh, Jaguars.
Jaguars?
Big Jags guy.
Oh, shit, I'm on the clock. Kyle, tell me another game from Sunday.
Sunday. I also think
Sunday,
49ers Seahawks, as I said, I'm really interested
Got
to see
that
how
one
the
down,
Seahawks
too. That was actually the next one I
look
had.
like a divisional game, as always. Raiders Patriots. Drake May, Mike Vrabel versus Ashton Genty, Pete Carroll. I think that's going to be a very interesting game. I think Falcons Bucs, another divisional game, very interesting. Lions Packers, that's the Fox game of the week. That should be a very interesting game. See how the Lions look without their old coordinators. See how the Packers look with Micah Parsons. I think the game of the whole Sunday, though, is Sunday Night Football. Ravens at Bills.
Yeah, man. I mean, come on.
In my opinion, that's the
how could that not be the best
championship
game?
preview.
Yeah.
Those are the two juggernauts desperately trying to pass the Chiefs. I think that's the game of the week.
Yeah, I mean, come on. How could that not be the game of the week? That's literally like
that's gonna be a phenomenal game.
Yeah, that's gonna be a phenomenal.
And then you got Vikings Bears on Monday night. That's another interesting game. See how McCarthy does. The new look Bears with Ben Johnson. I think that's also a must watch game. There's a reason why it's on primetime.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a reason on there as to why that's on primetime. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to take a freaking wide receiver here. Do I go Hollywood Brown? Hollywood Brown.
Well, Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood Brown, Wanzo Robinson, Keenan Allen, Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed was pretty good, huh? I'll take Jaden Reed. Why not? Take a flyer. All right. We're almost done here, but we've got money for you.
The KB Tease is back.
We've got money for you. So we start. Well, I guess you could say Kyle started it. Kyle really did start it.
I did start the
last
KB
year.
Tease. That was my little thing.
So tell everybody who's new here what the.
Where's the tease? Where's
well, tell everybody what the KB Tease is.
Okay, the KB Tease is a bet that I place every week where I pick 4 games, 4 spreads, or 4 totals, and I put them together, add 7 points to it. So a teaser, basically a parlay, is like you pick 4 bets and big payout.
We're not explaining
teaser,
parlays to
you're
people,
buying yourself
Kyle.
a little bit of insurance. You're buying yourself some points. So you're moving the spread 7 points in your favor. So if the spread's minus 7.5,
You're buying a
I'm going
touchdown.
to buy 7 points, just basically make it a half. So it's just money line at that point.
You're buying a
for
touchdown.
example.
Basically, what
I'm
we're
basically
doing.
buying a free touchdown. The odds aren't as good, but it's still almost 2 to 1, a little less than 2 to 1, which is nice. And
How much were we up last year?
11 units. Yeah, it's plus
Ding, ding,
180,
ding, ding,
up
ding.
11 units last year. Very solid. And we'll see what happens this year. I'm very confident. I know last year we started off pretty weak. We were 0-5 to start the season.
Were we
But
actually?
if you hung with
Oh,
us,
shit.
we had a really good run in the middle. We had the KB Feast and Thanksgiving. I'll
nice.
talk more about that when we get to it. But this year, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
All right.
But I have 3 picks I love. 4th pick, a little more dice. I don't want to say dicey. I love my picks. I already bet on it 2 weeks ago.
Don't tell them
Very
that.
confident in it. But there's 3 picks absolutely love. I'll tell you those in case you just want to do the 3. Obviously, you're not going to get the full payout, and you'll feel bad that you missed out on the 4th because I'm pretty confident in that one too. The other 3 absolute locks. I would bet them straight. That's how confident they are.
Wow. Okay.
Without the tease, the first 3 legs.
There you go.
First leg. Eagles minus 8.5. Add 7 points to that. Eagles are winning that game. I'd be absolutely shocked if they don't. I'd be elated. This is just Dallas. All the news out of them is all doom and gloom. No Micah Parsons. The Eagles are relatively healthy. Dallas's corners are all hurt. Devontae Smith, AJ Brown are healthy. They're off the injury report. I can't see how they lose on Banner Night. The link's gonna be rocking.
Yeah.
I cannot see them losing that game.
Right.
And you're basically getting them at money line with the KB Tease. So I'll take them. Next game, Sunday, 1:00. Cardinals at Saints. As we discussed, very high on the Cardinals, very low at the Saints.
Rex.
Cardinals currently are favored by 6.5. So you're basically getting them at money line with a tie insurance. And remember, we did say we're due for a tie, but I just do not see how the Saints win this game. Also, teams with a new head coach / new quarterback historically are really horrible against the spread and really horrible against the money line first week of the season. Usually it's like 1-5, 1-6, like that. If you look it up, it's really bad. And based on that, I'd be shocked if the Cardinals lose this game. So give me the Cardinals, basically plus 0.5, basically money line with a little bit of tie insurance.
Like it.
Next game, 1:00 game. This is the leg I did say I was less confident in than the other 3, but I still like it a lot. It's going to be the line's moved, which shows that I do like that people are betting the over. But it's going to be the total over on Bengals Browns. Right now, it's set at 47.
Interesting.
So it's going to go to 40.5. I think that's because the Bengals defense is low key pretty bad. The Browns defense is not much better, but it's just slightly better. But I think the Bengals are going to have to score a lot. I think the Browns offense is going to be able to score on this defense. Joe Flacco loves chucking it. And I think week 1, it's a little like Bengals starters played in the preseason. I don't think they're going to be as much of a slow start that they've been in previous years. So I think that the Bengals Browns game, I think that's going to go over 40 points. I think final score for that is going to be like 28-20, something like that, close to the actual total. Right. That's why I want to buy the 7 points. But I think that game's going to go over 40.5.
Okay. I'm with you so far.
Last game is going to be the 4:00 game. Titans at Broncos. I'm taking Broncos -1. Right now the game's at -8.
Like that.
Broncos, you got a starting. You basically, as I said earlier, a existing head coach quarterback combo versus a new head coach quarterback combo. Historically, week 1, they win every time and they cover spread most of the time. And we're even buying some points. Broncos are at home. Their defense is much improved. Rookie quarterbacks week 1 historically are not very good. Titans are not a very good team roster-wise. They were the worst team in the NFL last year, and they're starting a rookie quarterback against a pretty solid playoff team last year with a revamped team.
And they got the deep boy
defense. I would be shocked if the Broncos lose this game. There's a reason why it's the highest spread of the weekend. Actually, it was, but it's not anymore because technically the Eagles spread's 8.5.
Wow, that eclipsed it. I'm surprised even at that.
The Eagles were 7. It was 7 for a while, and it moved up 1.5 points. So those are just to recap. Eagles absolutely no way they lose. I'd be shocked. I'd be very upset. I'll come in here looking like a clown next week. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll do anything at this point.
You should stop talking.
I need to stop talking. Good thing I wasn't drinking, or else I'd say something real stupid.
Oh boy.
But yeah, I'd be shocked. Next is Cardinals. Again, I'd be shocked. Honestly, even more. I could arguably be more shocked. Saints are that bad.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, same thing. New quarterback, new head coach. Not a good combo because it's existing head coach quarterback combo with Kyler and Jonathan Gannon. Then we got the over in Bengals Browns because I like both offenses, don't like both defenses. And then the last one is Broncos Titans. I think Broncos existing quarterback head coach combo versus a rookie quarterback, solid defense. You're basically getting them in that money line. I'd be shocked the Broncos lose that game. So that's the KB Tease. I'm very confident in it this year. I was confident. I'm very confident. I learned from a lot of mistakes last year. Yes, early on, it took me a little bit to get my groove.
I love it.
Once I did, we were doing real good. We were on an incredible run, and I hope to start on a good run this year.
You know, I really think that week 1, and by the way, I agree with most of what you just said. I think the only one that's kind of iffy is maybe those the over in the what are we doing? Return and draft. Return. I hate the ESPN app, by the way. The new look is
disgusting.
terrible. Those Bengals Browns games, they can be weird sometimes. I don't know. But your logic is sound. That's probably the only one I'm like kind of iffy on. But week 1's kind of a crapshoot, you know. Like
week 1 is definitely the hardest.
It's definitely really hard. Like
we all thought the Bengals were gonna. We all thought the Bengals were gonna crush the Patriots, and they didn't. Like it's weird. It's always weird.
Yeah, I think it's always like it's honestly kind of a crapshoot. You know, that's in my humble opinion, it's honestly a crapshoot. So, but
what the hell is the teasers option?
Oh, you're trying to get the odds? Yeah, you gotta give me the odds.
It's always plus 180 usually.
It's about that.
It's not letting me do
I gotta place that, and then what we're gonna do this year is I'm gonna give the tease its own post, because what I would do is like, oh, watch the podcast on Tuesdays, you'll get the whole thing, and then like if we had a Thursday pick or a Friday pick or whatever in there, by the time I posted it on Sunday, it'd be like, all right, well I'm only left with like 3
people
picks.
Like, oh, I missed out.
Yeah, so we're gonna give that its own post. I'll post that probably like noon on Thursdays, and then I'll give you my game predictions, like, you know, before the game, obviously. And then going forward, you know, if you see it Thursday, place it Thursday, because like you'll probably have just about the same odds, unless I could do it Wednesday just to give the people a day. That might be.
I think you give them a day.
I need to come up with the graphic though, so that's what I'm gonna do after this, because I don't have a graphic yet, which I'll run by you first, because it's your thing. But we're gonna give it its own post. That way we'll give people a chance to get all 4 picks in before the lines are set and before everything, you know, before the week kicks off on Thursday. So that'll be new this year. But hey, I mean, 11 units last year. You know, gamble responsibly, but I mean, did pretty good last year.
Pretty solid.
I'm not gonna lie, Kyle, you did pretty good last year. So I'm excited. You know, just get me to Thursday, man. Get me to Thursday. I can't take it anymore.
Plus
I need it.
184. Plus
184. On what book?
On BetMGM.
BetMGM. So there you go. BetMGM 184. I'm sure, you know, DK, FanDuel, sure you'll be right in around the ballpark of 180. So yeah, that is the teaser. And that's gonna do it for us for preseason. When we convene next week, Kyle, we'll have a week of football under our belt. And there's gonna be insane. A lot to talk about. So you know, that'll do it for us. Again, Thursday night football, NFL opening kickoff, 8:20 in Lincoln Financial Field. Cowboys at Eagles on NBC. Make sure to tune in to that. And then, you know, your week will progress, and hopefully y'all have a good rest of your work week. And, you know, if you're doing anything Sunday and you want to come to 2020 Tap House in Somerset, New Jersey, I'll be there. Kyle, you're invited as well. I keep pointing over here because you're here, you're physically to my left on the screen, but when I point to the left, it's to the right on the camera. So now I have to go here. You're more than welcome to come and watch football with me, of course. But that's gonna do it for us this week. Kyle, anything you want to add?
No, KB Tease, lock it in.
Lock it
Eagles
in.
Money line. Lock it in.
All right, y'all. We'll talk to you next week. Go Birds. Go football.
Go Birds.
Good luck with all your fantasy drafts, and we will talk to you next week.